509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905.
This week's topic is Odysseus' hero journey.
And today we're going to talk about how Poseidon and Odysseus are at war right now because he came from the Trojan War 20 years from today, and he took all the credit from Poseidon when Poseidon had helped Odysseus.
He pretty much made Poseidon a hurricane of anger.
Odysseus has it coming for him.
Watch the rest of the broadcast to see what's next.
For day one. Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905. Today we are going to talk about Odysseus' day one of his hero journey.
Recently, we just found out that Odysseus has been to Circe to find out what he had to do to get back home to Ithaca. He has to go through Cyclopses.
Go through sirens.
He has to go through the monsters Scylla and Charybdis.
And go through mental battles with himself.
Just to get back home to Ithaca for his wife and son.
We'll be back tomorrow for day 2 of Odysseus' journey. Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905. Today is day 2 of Odysseus' hero's journey.
Odysseus' ship had just washed up on Polyphemus' island.
Polyphemus was herding his sheep to go back home when Odysseus and his men were in Polyphemus' home eating his cheese.
Polyphemus was pretty startled when he walked in and saw the visitors. He asked who they were.
Polyphemus had started eating Odysseus' men.
When that happened, Odysseus offered him some wine to put him to sleep.
Odysseus had before told Polyphemus, that his name was Nobody, just to keep him from getting in any trouble.
He was thinking ahead. They were sharpening a spear, and they decided that while Polyphemus was asleep, they would stab him in the eye.
When they did stab him in the eye, Polyphemus had waken up and eaten more of Odysseus' men.
With a sphere in his only eye.
Odysseus had thought very quickly to ride underneath the sheep to get out of Polyphemus' home.
When he got back on his ship, his pride took over.
Oh, Odysseus.
We just got exactly what Odysseus said. Tell him, Odysseus, raider of cities, took your eye, Laertes' son, whose home's on Ithaca. Instead of him being known as Nobody, he's now known as Odysseus.
We'll be back tomorrow for day 3. Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905. Today is day 3 of Odysseus' hero's journey.
Odysseus had to go through these female bird things that could potentially lead to his death. They're called sirens.
Penelope had sent us a letter from Odysseus of what had happened. From his exact words to his men, therefore you are to tie me up tight as a splint, erect along the mast, lashed to the mast, and if I shall beg and to be untied, take more turns of the rope to unmuffle me.
The sirens sing a deadly song that lures men to their deaths. We don't know how they die, but whoever hears it will most likely not live.
Odysseus has been one of the first men to survive from the sirens.
A majority of his men also survived because he had them put beeswax in their ears.
Way to go, Odysseus.
We'll be back tomorrow for day 4.
Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905. Today is day 4 of Odysseus' hero's journey.
Today, Odysseus had to make the great choice of going to either Scylla, a 6-headed monster, or Charybdis, the great whirlpool.
Which one do you think he chose?
Obviously, he went with Scylla.
I would.
Scylla only ate 6 of his men versus the entire ship going down.
Scylla eating 6 of his men, they finally made it out alive, but with fewer men on the ship.
Although there were fewer men, they were very frantic about their next adventure that they would get to go through.
Luckily, they did make it through and they're on to their next journey. Tomorrow night, we'll be back learning more about Penelope and Telemachus. Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 905. Today is day 5 of Odysseus' journey, but we're going to learn more about Penelope and Telemachus today.
Penelope is the queen of Ithaca and Odysseus' wife, while Telemachus is his 20-year-old only son.
There are suitors all over the land. They will not leave Penelope alone, and they're eating and drinking all over.
They're trying to take over Odysseus and who he was.
Telemachus is not having any of it.
The suitors are trying to kill Telemachus because he's the only male who could actually become king.
Penelope lays in her bed crying every night, waiting for Odysseus to come home.
At least she stays faithful and loyal.
Tomorrow we will learn more about Penelope and Telemachus. Hello and welcome back to 509 News, where we start at 509 and end at 9:05. Today is day 7 of Odysseus' hero's journey, the last day, where Penelope and Odysseus are reuniting.
Before that, Odysseus decided to kill all the suitors because they were taking his wine, his food, and his home. They were trying to take his wife and kill his son.
Penelope, once Odysseus had won the
test of the bow.
Yes, whatever that was, Penelope had taken him up and did a quiz on him.
We have a letter, word from word, exactly what Odysseus had to say in order to make sure that it was truly Odysseus, because Odysseus is the only man who knows about this.
Before Penelope quizzed him, Penelope had told the maid to move their bed out into the hallway when Odysseus had gotten mad. Word for word, here's the letter. An old trunk of olive grew like a pillar on the building plot, and I laid out our bedroom round that tree, lined up the stone walls, built the walls and roof, gave it a doorway and smooth-fitting doors. Then I lopped off those slippery leaves and branches, hewed and shaped that stump from the roots up into a bedpost, drilled it, let it serve as a model for the rest. I planned them all, inlaid them all with silver, gold, and ivory, and stretched a bed between, a pliant web of oxide thongs dyed crimson.
There we have it. It's a happily ever after.
Way to go, Odysseus. Do you want mascara?
No, I
It makes
can't
your
look back.
eyelashes long and one.
What do you mean?
Sharpay and Evan. Ma!